This is what literature teachers make their students write reports on.
Right. There are many different roles that a secondary character can play in a story. They can be a villain for the main character. They could be somebody who is a guide. They could be a tool that the main character uses to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. They could be just serve as a friend. But there's another role that kind of surprised us this week as we were looking through the work that we did.
So this week I was looking at a scene that initially was kind of just a filler scene, because we realized we have a lot of scenes in a row from Vanessa's point of view. We need something from Arnold's point of view. What is he doing in this kind of 3-week gap between important scenes that he is involved in? And so in figuring out what goes in this scene, he is interacting with his friend Reese, a secondary character. And I'm trying to figure out, what all do I want to include in this scene? What are some things that can help build character, not build character, but what am I trying to say?
Tell
more about characters, yes. Reveal more about characters, give more information, and kind of grow the way the character is presented. And in doing that, I realized an interesting role that Reese is playing in not just Arnold's life, but in kind of the story as a whole. And that is, he is being a contrast, not to Arnold, but to Vanessa, our other main character, and in some really interesting ways.
Even though we don't see the two of them necessarily interacting with each other.
I don't know that they ever interact with each other through the whole story.
They very well may not.
But they do have some very interesting opposites in the way that they're acting. We've talked before on the channel, I think, about how Vanessa is searching for popularity and how she is kind of willing to conform to whatever she needs to in order to fit in and be with this popular crowd.
What she thinks she's looking for is belonging.
Right.
And I guess we're kind of going down a spoiler avenue, so we'll stay there.
So yeah, she's looking for belonging. She wants to kind of fit in with the popular crowd, so she's willing to conform. Reese also wants to be a part of the popular crowd, but he's not willing to conform to do it. He wants to be a part of the popular crowd by convincing everybody else to like him for how he is.
Yeah, I think we described it as Vanessa will conform, but Reese will manipulate.
Yes, he'll manipulate anybody, really, whether that's other people who are not popular to try to do things to kind of vault him into that popular crowd, or manipulate the people who are popular to make them think that he's so much better than he is. But there's these kind of contrasting strengths. We've talked about this before, the paradoxical strength. Both of what Vanessa and Reese are doing are strengths in a way. Vanessa's strength of not necessarily trying to fit in, but willingness to change in order to be able to make relationships with others. You need to be able to change. And
there's value in conforming to social norms.
Yeah, conforming to social norms is a strength. So is standing up for who you are, and at times not being willing to change, but not taking it to an extreme. And both Vanessa and Reese are kind of taking those strengths to an extreme to where they become weaknesses because they're ignoring the other side. And looking at these two opposite paths, opposite pursuits of popularity, like this is deep. Like this is what literature teachers make their students write reports on. Like, compare and contrast Vanessa and Reese's pursuit of popularity. And we think that this is something that can be very valuable in making our story more thought-provoking, more realistic in many ways, but something that's going to make it more interesting to read.
And as we're going through it, I just personally, I find it a little bit frustrating that it takes us so much work, it feels like, to be able to get one of these little, ooh, that's pretty cool. And these other authors who are cranking out one book every year, and every one of them has just filled with these, ooh, that's really cool. Just shows us how much farther that we have to go. But our question for you this week is, how have you seen people pursue popularity, whether in fiction or in real life? And how well did it work out for them? Let us know that in the comments, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.